Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about intermittent fasting and the keto or ketogenic diet. I've implemented this combination into my own lifestyle for my personal health and weight loss goals, and I can tell you from experience, it's worked great for myself, and I've already lost 20 pounds. And I just want to throw a quick disclaimer. This is not something that I think is going to work for everyone. I don't think there is any one diet that will. But it has worked for myself. So today I'm going to share with you what the benefits of intermittent fasting and the keto diet are. And I'm also going to be showing you like what I eat in a day so that you can see what a typical day looks like and some of the common foods that are found in the keto diet and what intermittent fasting may look like. Everyone does it a little bit differently, but if you're just interested in learning more from a personal perspective, then just keep on watching. Okay, so what is intermittent fasting? Well, intermittent fasting is really just a style or pattern of eating. You know, at first it may seem daunting of like, oh, you know, you have to fast in order to do this. Well, if you think about it, everyone fasts on a day-to-day basis. When we're sleeping and we're not eating, we're fasting. So with intermittent fasting, you're just extending that period of time just a little bit more. So there are different varieties of intermittent fasting, and you're just gonna have to kind of figure out what's gonna work best for you and your lifestyle. A very common form of intermittent fasting is one that's done daily, and that is a 16-8 intermittent fast, meaning you're fasting for 16 hours of the day and you're eating during an 8-hour window. I personally do a 18-6, so I fast for 18 hours of the day and I eat during a 6-hour window, so my schedule looks like a 9 to 3. There are other different types as well. There's one called 5-2 or the 5-2 diet, where 5 days of the week you're eating normally, and then 2 days of the week you are restricting your calories to about 300 to 500 calories. There's also like alternative day eating, where you eat normally and then you take a couple of days throughout the week where you don't eat anything at all. I think the daily version of it, where you just kind of increase your hours of fasting, is a little bit more approachable and easier compared to the other two, but that's just my own personal opinion. However, this way of eating can provide quite a bit of health benefits, such as reducing blood sugar, and in that same sense, it can reduce insulin, and this can also increase your human growth hormone. This is something that decreases as we age, and if it continues and there's a deficiency, this could lead to an increase of body fat and decreased lean body mass and bone mass. And intermittent fasting is also great if you just want to make just some kind of change towards your weight loss goals and you don't want to actually do any specific diet. Just doing intermittent fasting alone can help train you to just be mindful of what you're eating, when you're eating, and it can naturally help you cut back on any extra calories, and you can lose weight that way and not have to worry about being on any particular diet. Okay, so now let's talk about keto and what keto is and what the benefits are. The keto diet was originally used as a treatment for epilepsy and other neurological conditions. However, it has been gaining popularity recently as a weight loss and fat loss diet. So basically, a keto diet is a diet that is high in fat and low in carbs. So when it's used for weight loss purposes, it's to help the body get into a state of ketosis, which allows the body to use fat as a fuel source rather than glucose or carbs and sugar that we normally use. So some of the benefits include weight loss. I mean, that is the main thing. I mean, there's a lot of people who say that it gives them more focus and more mental clarity, not as much of a brain fog, and increased energy as well. It can help reduce insulin resistance, and as I mentioned before, it can be used to treat a lot of different conditions. Okay, so let's talk about the basics of a keto diet. So typically there's a format of the macros or the macronutrients Macronutrients are the nutrients that you need in your body for energy, like carbohydrates, protein, and fat. So the typical macro breakdown for a keto diet is 70% fat, 25% protein, and 5% carbs. Of course, there are some variations. So as you can tell, 5% carbs is not really a lot. I mean, typically when people are trying to get into ketosis quickly, they will do 20 grams of carbs or less, and that is 20 net carbs. So net carbs means your total carb count minus any fiber that you would consume, because when we consume fiber, we can't actually digest it or absorb it, so it just passes through. So we just don't count that towards our carb intake. But if you're just starting out and you're just trying to see if this is right for you, a more modified version is about 30 to 50 net carbs. And of course, this is not something that is really sustainable in the long run. There are some people who have stayed in this type of diet for years. I personally am not going to be doing that. I will be doing this for maybe 3 to 6 months until I reach and maintain my weight loss goal. One thing to keep in mind is that some people experience some symptoms when going on keto. This is typically called a keto flu. It can typically last 1 to 2 weeks. And so some of those symptoms are you're tired, you may experience some headaches, muscle weakness, and poor sleep. For myself, I did experience some fatigue initially, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't handle. You're gonna really, really wanna stay hydrated throughout. Well, just in general, I mean, you should be drinking water anyway, but if you are going on a keto diet, it is really important that you stay hydrated. And another key thing that you're gonna want to do is you really are gonna wanna track your macros to really make sure you are staying on track. I use MyFitnessPal. It's great because it will show you the amount of fiber, so it's great when you're trying to track those carbs and you wanna see your net carbs. I have tried other apps, but sometimes they won't show you the dietary fiber, or you have to pay a premium for that. MyFitnessPal is free to use, and you are able to see that information. And as a reminder, this may not be for everyone. And whether it's keto or intermittent fasting or the combination of the two, you're not supposed to be hard on yourself if you're not 100% perfect. Life happens, events happen. If you have to go eat out past your cutoff time, or if you're at an event and you haven't eaten all day, there's not a lot of options, that's okay. Just make the best choices that you can, and always consult with your primary physician before starting any new type of diet or regimen to make sure if it is something that is right for you. I am not a healthcare professional. I am not a registered dietitian. I am just sharing information that I've learned and from experience. So make sure you do consult a professional before starting anything. Okay, so now my breakfast is made. I got my sad egg and with the chia seed, it's a good source of protein and fat, and of course the egg yolk and the egg white, all of it's really good. And of course my coffee. I always look forward to this every day. This may look a little bit small, but my next meal is actually only 3 hours away. Since I have such a shorter window of time, my meals are a little bit closer. So I have my lunch at 12 and my dinner at 3. And I'm really not even that hungry right now. Now this is huge because I used to be someone who would get very hangry and bitchy if I did not have food within an hour of waking up. And today I've been up since like 6:30. So it's been a couple of hours and I still can go a little bit longer. So that's also one of the benefits of keto and intermittent fasting. Once you get into the routine and your body gets more accustomed to it and your insulin isn't always like all over the place and you're not always craving the sugar, your hunger starts to level out a little bit. So to me, that's a huge benefit. On a personal side note, one of the great reasons why I love this is because I personally deal with food addiction. Prior to this, I would always kind of think about when I would get to eat next, and it really consumed my mind throughout the day quite a bit. And having, this way of eating where I feel full and I have a little bit less of that brain fog, that's just not occupying my mind anymore. I can focus on doing other things and things that I enjoy. So that's really huge for me and why I really appreciate this way of eating. So enough of all of that. I'm going to enjoy my breakfast and then I'll check in again with y'all at lunch. Okay, so it is lunchtime now. It is a little bit past noon and I'm going to be making a fruit smoothie and some keto bread. Big misconception, and I fell into this too when I first started keto last year, is that a lot of people tend to think that, keto, you're going to just be eating bacon and meat and butter and cheese just all day long, and that's not necessarily the case. So I love berry smoothies, especially now that it's getting warmer and summertime is just around the corner. It's very refreshing. You can still have these types of foods when you're on keto. The same thing goes for bread. You're just going to have to do alternative methods, but they can be a great substitution for some of the things that you really love or crave. So for this bread, while I'm making my smoothie, I'm going to wait for the bread to bake. This is my first time making this, so I actually got the recipe off Pinterest because I just wanted to try something new. And we're going to see how it turns out. Hopefully it turns out good, but we'll check on that in a second. So let's get started and work on making on the smoothies, and I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to be making my berry smoothie. I already have my milk measured out. It's really just 1 serving of this coconut milk. This is important every time you get a milk or milk alternative. Make sure you get it unsweetened so it doesn't have any of that, added sugars. For my berries, this is just a generic grocery berry medley. It's a frozen berries. It has strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And then this is just some frozen spinach to add some greens. I'm going to be adding in some chia seeds to this as well to give it some extra fiber and protein. And I'm also going to be adding maca. Oh, and I forgot to show you this, but I also added about half an avocado. So I'm going to blend this up really quick, and then I will show you the final result. So this is how the smoothie turned out. It looks pretty good. So you can totally have, smoothies while you're on keto. It's good. The chia seeds didn't blend completely, but I don't mind. Super refreshing. This is the stuff that you can enjoy on keto, so keep that in mind. It is not as restrictive and boring as it may seem, I promise you. And the bread is almost done, so we're going to see how that turns out. Hopefully it's not like some kind of Pinterest fail, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so let's see how the keto bread turned. Whoa, okay. They're not that pretty, but they don't look that bad, and they smell delicious. Let's take this into some better lighting. Yeah, they look pretty good. Wow. Okay, let's go do a taste test. Okay, so my lunch is made. I just wanted to show you a little bit more up close and personal. This is the berry smoothie. I mean, it is a really good smoothie. It's healthy. It tastes delicious. But the real thing I need to see is how these keto bread, whatever, came out. So they smell good. They are good. Kind of has like a cheddar biscuit type of texture. a little bit softer on the inside. It's good. See, keto is not as bad, and it's easier than most people think if this is something that you are considering. So I'm gonna finish this really quick because it looks and tastes delicious, and I will be back for my dinner. Okay, so I didn't realize that the camera had stopped recording during the filming of this portion. So this is the final result of my dinner. At the bottom is some cauliflower rice, and I topped it with some seasoned chicken, a little bit of mushrooms and bell peppers, some sliced avocados, a serving of Mexican cheese, and a little bit of sour cream. It turned out super delicious, and it was very satisfying, and it was very easy to make. So definitely a good dinner in my book. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found it quite informative. I know that was kind of a lot, but you know, as I'm learning and working on my health, my own weight loss, I want to share this information too, because maybe this might help someone else. You know, there is an abundant amount of information out there, and I think it's really helpful when we see it from someone's personal experience and how they're going through it to really see if that's a right fit. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it informative, and if you did, give this video a thumbs up. Also, leave a comment below. Would you try keto or intermittent fasting or both? And also, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.